Hey, welcome to another edition of Top 10 Worst Of Lists. The thing with the lists of worst things within a wide variety of subjects and topics. I'm your host, Oliver Klozoff, and join me, if you will, for another deep examination into a list of top 10 worst ofs. I don't know. No big whoop. It doesn't require a whole high level of intellectual capacity as a. And it's not like you have to be this smart to enter the top 10 worst of lists. So anyway, I've got just before we get rolling here, a couple of disclaimers. Number one, I'm nuts. I cannot be trusted. All the things that I'm going to say, you can't be relied upon because, and it's not that I'm nuts in the conventional sense where I need to be medicated or under supervisor. And this room I'm in is like, well, it's like sort of, kind of might seem like a white padded cell. It's not like fully white padded. Look, I got guitar strings over there. So it's not a white padded cell. I'm not that. I'm nuts in contextual, reference to our society at large not paying attention to anything anymore and just sort of becoming ideologues and picking up on all the different avenues of brainwashing. One or the other is going to be hitting them with all kinds of misinformation, trying to guide them towards a place where they would be easily manipulatable pawns in the chess game of life and wind up spending their entire existence being nothing more than tools of the aristocracy. Number two, I'm not partisan. I'm not going to play the game. It's divide and conquer. If you can't see that, then fine. I know there's a lot of people we can point fingers at being horrible, intolerant, and all kinds of different things that are horrendous, violent, savagery. I'm not going to argue any of that. There's horrible people in the world, but, the United States at large is dropping bombs on children and all the kinds of things like that, running sweatshops and exploiting, people, 2.5 million people in the prison system that we all have to pay the room and board for while corporations make profits off of them. And they got 500,000 Americans every year dying from tobacco-related causes. And the tobacco executives are just kind of sitting there huffing and puffing on their big fat stogies and infusing their products with giant chemicals that make them impossible for people to quit, and marketing to kids because people are addicted to tobacco by their 15th birthday, and we just kind of let all that go, right? Instead, we're blaming all these like little, everything. The first story on the news every day should be, we get 9 million people a year dying from starvation-related causes, and 30% of the food that we make gets thrown into the garbage. That should be the lead story every day. It's thousands of people, 23,000 people die every single day from starvation-related causes, and most of them are children, and most of those children are dying in their parents' arms. Why, why talk about some violence in the inner city, or talking about, somebody driving a trunk? I mean, these are relative things that we need to know about. We need to provide relief for people who are being victimized and subjected to these horrors. But the lead story should be 23,000 people died today from starvation-related causes. And we threw out 30% of the food that we manufacture in this country. And it's just madness. And if we're turning off, you're going to say, oh, you need to hate these people over here with a broad brushstroke, and you need to hate all of them who signify as that. If you're going to say that I have to do that for right-wingers, then what's to stop the right-wingers who are pointing the finger the same way and telling others that they have to hate left-wingers because they voted for Barack Obama or because they're gay or something stupid like that? It's all stupidity. It's all being forced upon us to make us more hateful and to keep us fighting amongst ourselves while these guys rob us blind. And it's not just simply right and left anymore. They had to subdivide the thing to make us even more hateful. So now the alt-right, right-winger MAGA crew is hating on the centrist Republicans because they're not radical and nuts enough to be able to, hate everybody just because of what they are instead of taking the time to learn who they are. And then you've got, on the left, you've got the people who are like totally intolerant of anybody who will, dead name somebody or any of the various different types of political correctness things that they require people to not have any harassment or not get cancel culture or anything like that. So they've got the alt-left people now who are as intolerant as the alt-right people on the right are. And then you got these sort of like the mainstream middle-of-the-road lefties who aren't doing anything. They're just kind of showing up and going like, well, how the hell does this all get so bad? I used to have to walk 10 miles a day in the snowstorm to be able to get to school. And look at what happened to my world. Now nobody's strong enough to his giant snowflakes and everybody's hate. And I just don't get it. I'm not going to play it anymore. I'm not going to play the game. I got one rule, and it's the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have do unto you. And if you're, being evil, if you're being hateful, if you're being, punishing somebody for what they are, not getting to know who they are, and you're being intolerant or whatever it is that you're doing, it's messed up and it's ingrained into you. You're victimized, and you don't even see it. You don't even know it. You don't even know to protect yourself because you don't even see that it's happening. How anybody could embrace Hillary Clinton and think that she's some sort of heroic person for testifying in the Epstein trials and saying that, she doesn't know never knew who Epstein was when her husband's flying on his plane 27 frickin' times and hanging out in jacuzzis with them and all that kind of stuff is just absolutely nuts. And she was the person who destroyed national health for us. Don't you even remember that? Did you take the time to realize who these people are? And she was, in all of her formative years, was a supporter and volunteer for Barry Goldwater. Barry freaking Goldwater, one of the worst people ever, especially to traditional lefties and progressives. And she visited the 1968 Republican convention in Miami Beach. Was she meeting with Richard Nixon? If she was, what was she doing? This is 68. All of her formative years, she was a hardcore ultra-right-wing Republican. And so was Massachusetts Senator Earl Scheib. What's her name? Dan Pastorini. Oh, God. With the Pierce, Elizabeth Warren. Wow. I pulled that out of my ass. Anywho, it's just like she was a Republican for a long time until, for political expediency, she switched over so she could run as a Democrat in her home state of Massachusetts. Because nobody in Massachusetts was going to vote for a Republican for the Senate. Or at least that's how I look at it. Anywho, I don't know how you want to look at it. Anyway, so I'm not partisan anymore. Don't try to ascribe your damaged goods onto me. I'm looking for an objective truth here. I'm the one who's screaming for 30 freaking years to stop fighting amongst ourselves and to realize that the only real divisions in the humanoid races are between the haves and the have-nots. The haves, and which is what I call humanoid races, the haves are not human. They're not even human. They become so monstrous that there's just absolutely no humanity within them whatsoever. They feel the only way they can feel happiness is to see good people suffer. It's a total reversal, yin and yang. That's part of, if people think about what, if they're, why do bad things happen to good people? Bad things happen to good people because that's how good people become good people. They learn lessons, they sacrifice, they overcome obstacles, and they learn those lessons and they carry it within the depth of their character. And if they're lucky, they have people in their lives that they can share that depth with, provide comfort and support for those in their lives that are worth caring for. And that's the best thing that life can offer. So you can't get rid of the evildoers in this world, or you won't be able to experience that. If everybody ever had everything they always wanted, they all turn out like Donald Trump, some narcissistic jerk-off a-hole who couldn't care less about anybody, who's bankrupted everything he's ever touched, and he's now in the process of bankrupting this country. Whether or not you want to admit it or not, he's a morally bereft, psychotic, racist pig who's sold us for a bill of goods, sold out everybody in the whole freaking planet, really, in order to be able to just do whatever the hell he wants and get away with it. And it's demented. and it's unfair to the human race, and especially for the working class and the blue collar types and the independent business owners and stuff like that, who are all paying the price and having everything they've ever worked for or dreamed of sucked away for all of history, just to create giant, unassailable ivory towers and opulence for all these rich jagoffs who are sitting there in their luxury boxes that we paid for, and looking down upon us, both metaphorically and realistically, as we, serve as nothing more than parasites for them. And here's another thing, because now, soon, the AI robots are going to replace everything that we do. So they're not going to even need us anymore. So for all the thousands of years that we've been sacrificing for every aspect of the horrors of life that so many people suffered for and died for and been tortured over, have all been to pay for the luxury of these few families that have led us as overlords with their boot heels pounding down on our throats forever. And now they're just going to chuck us into the kick us to the curb. So anyway, that's that for that. And now these top 10 lists might not seem like it's realistic, but it is for real. It's come. I put it together along with a team of former Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders who we gathered together out in front of the gift shop for Disney World's Tower of Terror ride, and drink copious amounts of banana daiquiris mixed with uranium-238 isotopes, and come up with these lists. Just for entertainment purposes only, not to be taken internally. And we've got a sponsor. Oh my God, we got a sponsor. Have we got a sponsor? I'm telling you. We've got, for this week's sponsor is Nose Candyland, the new game for the whole family. From the makers of Candyland, it's now Nose Candyland. Snoot, snoot. And from the producers, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea comes the prequel, 20,000 Leagues Under the Air. It's just a boat on a dry dock sitting around doing nothing. 20,000 Leagues Under the Air. What an exciting movie coming to a major motion picture indoctrination center near you. 20,000 Leagues Under the Air. Rated NC-17. All right, so we're ready finally. Wow, what an incredibly exciting time it is for all of us here. All right, so the top 10 worst of list for today is top 10 worst signs that the relationship's over. For me, I really don't know much about this. This is sort of, I had to do a lot of research for this because you have to have a relationship before you can see the signs that it's over. And, me, the dateless wonder, the career bachelor, sort of nom de guerres for a guy like me. I mean, when the ladies see me coming, they start slumming. All right, top 10 worst signs of the relationship's over. Number 10, you're finding speed dating flyers all over the kitchen table. Bad sign. That is a bad sign. Who did that? I wouldn't want to be that guy. Just not only just are they speed dating flyers, indicating that your partner is like, in a hurry to find someone new, but they're so callous about it, they're leaving it all over the kitchen table. So it's a double whammy. Number 9, not only is he leaving the toilet seat up, but he won't even flush anymore. Now that is, again, talk about double whammies. I would suggest that if that's happening in your shared dwelling, might be time to pack the bags. Number 8, pictures of another man's wang sitting on the end table. Now, it could be just as damaging that they would leave their phone open with a bunch of Pics of fat pudendum. I still haven't looked up that word. Pudendum, puds, fat puds, or puds are us, or any equivalent thing on someone's browser history. Also, a bad idea, a bad sign that things aren't going exactly smooth sailing. Number 7, top 10 worst signs the relationship's over. She screams out your sister's name when she climaxes. Not good. It's going to be probably a rough holiday season for you. You know, something around October 20th or something. She's belting out, your sister's name, going, take me to the river, drop me in the water, or whatever. Hey, you look, personally, I wouldn't sweat it. Something like that's not that big of a deal. Number 6, TMZ has one of their vans permanently camped on your driveway. Not a good sign that the relationship is in good shape. Just ask Ben Affleck and any one of the 2 Jennifers he keeps ping-ponging between. Number 5, you find the babysitter's panties in the coffee maker in place of a filter. While I would be interested in seeing if it had any impact on the robust sort of... talk about Jacoby Luwak. Am I right? Jacoby Luwak. All right, number 4. Oh, we're rolling through these things like nobody's business. It is, by the way, it isn't any of your business. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I want to do the Pabst Blue Ribbon line so bad. Can I do the... Oh, man, I can't. It'd be cheesy. It's got to happen organically. I'm going to sneak it in. Be careful. I might sneak in the Pabst Blue Ribbon line. Number 4, she takes the morning after pill even when you didn't have sex the previous day or the previous month. In my case, all of my former paramours take the morning after pill, every day, out of sheer fear of any potential impregnation that could occur. I haven't gotten past first base in 14. Is it what? Somewhere around 9/11. Number 3 of the top 10 worst signs of the relationship's over. You keep finding Coney Island whitefish in the minivan's glove box. You open up the glove compartment. You're looking for one of those porta packs of tissue papers and stuff to wipe your nose, your nozzle. And instead you find Coney Island whitefish is sitting right on top of your driver's registration. And it's not a happy time. I found my fair share of Coney Island whitefish in the trash and got an array of places very conspicuously left behind to send a message. I think it's it's going to send a message. There's nothing like you really want a unequivocal way of telling you that your significant other that they're no longer significant. The old Coney Island whitefish is a perfect ploy. The Coney Island whitefish ploy. Number 2, he goes from supporting same-sex marriage laws to obtaining a license to be in one. Now, look, this is it's just a warning sign. It's not anything, I'm not looking to try to cast aspersions about anybody's, things that they're down with. Whatever you're down with is, not that you need approval from me. Certainly, I would be the last person I would seek approval for when it comes to something that's sexually oriented. Number one of the top 10 worst signs that the relationship's over. Taylor Swift's latest single is All About You. Ooh, look at that bell. It's going like smooth. That's smoothest bell ring at the... Wow. So, anyway, that's it for the top 10 worst of the list for today. Wow, an incredible terpsichore ride through a splendiferous fantasia of unrivaled luxury and splendidness. Some things to keep in mind. Everything I've said here is just opinions, not of my own, but bestowed upon me by Almighty God. Or some semi-intelligent power that created the universe. I don't know what the hell it is, to be honest with you. It's way above my pay grade. I'm doing the best I can to just sort of open the vessel and allow these messages that are floating throughout the universe to channel through me in some way, shape, or form, so that for entertainment purposes only. Loneliness, physical pain, regrets, betrayal. These are the hallmarks of my life. I don't have any skin in the game. When it comes, I'm not trying to sell anybody a bill of goods here. I've got, nothing that makes any difference to me anymore at all. You spent 30 years trying to change the world ineffectively and became a washout a couple of years ago. And I'm just trying to, have some kind of something to build off of to reclaim my life. I can't get away. I love writing this stuff and, there's not much else I can do. I've got physical problems that make it difficult for me to be able to, get back to the life I had before it all fell apart. Just to, some words of wisdom, the untapped ass is not worth examining. Trust me, I know, biggest torture or misery that you can come up with is to leave me a free comment. Whatever. I'm sure they're going to be really enlightening and supportive. Join the Patreon and leave a tip if you would, because my physical ailments really do threaten my life to almost unsurvivable levels at times. So why not? But most importantly, get you that like button, don't you? You know it's there. You know it's what I want. I want it. So you hate to do it. Smash that button. Smash the like button. Yeah. All right, you filthy animal. It's it's enough for now. Let's try to get through this thing together. What do you think? No, wait, no.